Hello, I am Elizabeth Catoe, and for my oral presentation I chose the Aeneid, which was based on ancient Rome. The main location during that time would be Italy, Egypt, Spain, France, and Gaul. Also during that time, it was mainly known as a republic, until Caesar came and decided to get greedy. After that, his own people killed him, and Mark Antony and his adopted son Octavian decided to avenge his death. Once that's done, Octavian and Mark split the empire. But when Mark went to Egypt and fell under Cleopatra's spell, rumors became that he wanted the rest of Rome. Octavian struck first and won. Although almost everybody knew that he was in control, total power, it remained a republic because he was going to bring back the old traditions. The people loved him and made him emperor. Once they died, they declared him a god. The family. There was no extended family during that time. No grandmas or grandpas, not really. The paterfamilias would be the father, and he had total control of his family. He could kill them if he wanted to. Marriage. It was monogamous, citizens only. Women could be 12 and men 14, but it was usually older. Patricians and plebeians could not marry until after Octavian changed his rules. Same for freed people and free people. The main definition of marriage would be they're living together and it was going to be a lasting union. Divorce was frequent, but men had less trouble than women. There was a form of contraception and abortion. The only rule would be not to kill an heir of the father. The inheritance was split between the children equally, so people had less children so that they could have money. The children always belonged to the father. Unless they were illegitimate, then they got their mother's name and no power whatsoever. The women could not be priestess, magistrates, votes. The only way they could get power is if they were wives or relatives of a man in power. After the late republic, they could have their own business and rule their financials. And they had no legal rights to their children, even though they usually took care of the children and the household. The in menu is a term for women in husband's control after marriage. The sign menu is a term for women without the control of a man after the marriage. But even during that time, they had a guardian called the tutela. But when Augustus came, he changed that and said if women had 3 children, they could be independent. The patricians were the privileged rights people. They had control of the army, civil, and criminal law. They could be senates and landowners, but they could not marry plebeians during the first republic, late republic. Plebeians also could not marry patricians until the late republic. They could not be senates or priesthoods. They had almost no power except for commerce, but they used that to get wealthy and become the middle class, which were equites. The coinage of that time would be a real, which was the number one coin. It had Augustus' face on it because he was the first emperor and everybody loved him. The metal would be gold, silver, brass, or bronze. This is an real. During that time, there was no official state religion. They had gods and goddesses, of course, because they believed they were the spirits that had control of what they needed to live. They worshipped them and did rituals. It was also flexible, so when the Greeks came, they incorporated other gods into their religion. But when Constantine was the leader, he decided to push Christianity into Rome, and that became the official state religion. Here would be Jesus in Roman style. He has a Roman toga and a halo, which was the characteristic of the Roman sun god. And that is the social life of ancient Rome.